Hey guys, and welcome to the video. So today we're going to be discussing which DJI drone I no longer recommend buying if you are a consumer and you're buying a drone for flying yourself or for taking photos, videos of your family for a bit of fun. That's all you want it for. Then there is a popular drone which I no longer recommend. And this is for our UK viewers, and this is because of the new 2021 laws which have come into effect in the UK. So stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to be going into detail of how this impacts this particular drone and the restrictions that you're going to face and decisions when buying a drone. But the drone that I no longer recommend is...
This is Mavic Air 2.
The DJI Mavic Air 2 was a beast of a drone, and it sat right in the middle price point wise of the two drones, the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Pro, and it was a fantastic drone with really good features. And when the Mavic Mini came out, it still lacked on features, and the Mavic Air 2 had HDR, had hyperlapse, lots of different cool features on it, which was fantastic. And that was until this drone came out. When the DJI Mini 2 was released and it included OcuSync 2.0, that's just changed the game. The wind resistance, the 4K 30, you're getting pretty much everything in that Air 2 that you get in the Mini 2. So you'll see now on paper, everything in red, the actual Air 2 has a lot more features still than that Mini 2. But the problem what it does have is that weight at 570 grams. We'll just start with the price. £419 for the Mini 2 compared to £769. That is a significant difference. You could buy the Fly More combo for £549. The flight time is very similar, 31 for the Mini 2 and 34 for the Air 2. So in real-time flying, that's pretty much identical. And then the big one, the range, they've both got the identical range with that OcuSync 2.0. The weight, 249 grams compared to 570 grams. Now that's the biggest issue that we've now got in the UK. If you're in the US or European countries, you're still okay, good to go. But for the UK viewers, 249 grams, which you'll see after this, is going to make a big difference to your drone purchase. You will get faster speeds on the Air 2 and also greater capabilities in the wind at 68.4 compared to 57.6. Not a massive difference, but that difference is still there. And then the sensors, you're going to get forwards, backwards and down position sensors on the Air 2. The Mini 2 only has the one sensor on it, which is the downward sensors. The Mavic Air 2 can record in 4K 60. The Mini 2 is 4K 30, but it's now recently added 2.7K 60, and they've both got the same 2x 4K zoom and 4x zoom in HD. But the difference with the Air 2 is you're going to get HDR, you're going to get 48 megapixel photos, so that's going to have a slightly better image quality. But again, the 4K 30 and the photos coming out of that Mini 2 are of really good quality, and unless you're pixel peeping on someone who really needs the quality for a business, then you're going to need that Air 2 with the restrictions we'll get to. But for the everyday consumer wanting a drone to record pictures, videos, family events, memories, then the Mini 2 is more than good enough to do all that. They both have phone charging capabilities. You will get 8 gig of internal storage on the Air 2, but let's realistically say you're going to need a memory card. And the gimbal is the same 3-axis gimbal on both. The Air 2, you're going to get a 48 megapixel camera compared to the 12 megapixel, so that is a big difference, and it allows you to be able to crop in more without gaining loss of quality, so that's better and it's nice to see. They've both got raw photo capabilities, panoramic photos exactly the same. You are getting 120 megabits per second compared to 100. It's only 20 difference if you think about the Mavic Air 1 that had 40 megabits per second compared to the 100, so that's a significant difference. That 20 is going to be hardly noticeable at all. And that said, the Mavic Air 2 is a fantastic drone, and it does have additional features. And as I said before, if I was in the US or Europe or before these new laws and someone asked me to choose between the two of them, I know which one I'd pick, and it would be the Mavic Air 2. But the trouble is now in the UK there are heavy restrictions on drones over 249 grams, which will make registering and flying any drones such as the Air 2, the Pro, the Phantom series, the Spark, extremely difficult to fly now in the UK without heavy restrictions. Thanks to HeliGuy for his chart here, but looking at the Mavic Air 2 now, it falls into the A2 category. So what this means, guys, is this is going to be more restrictions than the Mini 2, and it's going to also cost you more if you don't want those restrictions. So being in that A2 category, what does that mean? So an A2 category means that without the restrictions, you're going to have to purchase the A2 qualification, which is the certificate of competence, and this is a one-day course. Different retailers charge different prices, but it's usually around a couple of £100 and it lasts for 5 years, and that is for any drone over 500 grams. So that's going to be an additional cost that you're going to have to factor in if you don't want the restriction. That now puts the Mavic Air 2 at just under £1,000 when you factor in the cost of that course, also the time that you're going to have to do that. Now, you don't have to do that qualification, but if you don't, you will have these restrictions. You won't be able to fly the Air 2 in areas of congested areas such as recreational, industrial, residential or commercial premises. So you won't be able to fly within 150 meters of any residential areas. So that's going to restrict you a lot. Small drones do not have that restriction. Any drone under 250 grams can actually fly within that distance, and also it can fly closer than the 50 meters restriction that you also get on any drones over 250 grams. So that basically is forcing you. You're going to have to do that A2 qualification to be able to fly without the same restrictions. So that's going to be a thought for people who are thinking what drone to buy. And also that's why if you look on the used market, you see many Mavic Air 2s now being sold or downgraded to that Mini 2. The Mini 2 does pretty much 90% of what the Air 2 does without the features from the camera. If you're not going to be using a drone for professional work, then the Mini 2 is the drone that you should be picking. It is more than good enough at a really good price point, and it allows you to fly in areas which are restricted without having to do that A2 qualification. So go and pick it up, make sure you get your flyer ID, get your operator ID, and then away you go. Fly in areas safely, but you can go within 50 meters of people, and you can fly in residential areas. So you could fly around your house safely, something which you couldn't do at all with that Mavic Air 2. I love the Air 2, but I'll also love it more and more if we didn't have these restrictions. And unfortunately, the UK has handicapped a lot of the bigger quality drones that we were used to in this country, and now they are just going to be put on the shelf or sold, and they're going to be used solely for professional work or for flyers who want and need all them qualifications and don't mind paying that money. I hope you found that helpful. I'm going to post some more videos here of what I've done recently, and if you got any questions, comment down below. I try my best, as always, to answer all the comments. Thanks so much for the support on the channel. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.